Good morning. Welcome to Workforce Skills with John Morris. Another Monday morning out here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hope everybody's doing okay out there. It's going to be a short week. We have Thanksgiving this week, so we're only working through Wednesday. A lot to do in 3 days. You know, when we start thinking about the holidays and what happens, you know, I've got multiple guys calling, hey, do we get paid for these 2 days? Hey, are we working Friday, Saturday? Can we make up for it? You know, it's very difficult because I understand that a lot of people want to make their money. That's a given. But at the same time, I think as an employee, we have to prepare ourselves for these kind of weeks. Call it a rainy day fund, call it whatever you want to. So for us, payday's still Friday because we do direct deposit. We run it through a company called Paychecks. So all our payrolls run through them. We're not going to change the way we do things on a person-to-person basis. We have to keep it uniform across the company. So when it comes to our payroll, you know, guys are calling in asking if they're getting paid for it. Well, only salaried employees get a full paycheck for the week. Anybody on hourly, they're only getting paid the hours that they're working. So we had a couple guys working on Sunday, getting a couple extra hours. There's a job that we needed to get done. But as a large company like ours, as an employer, I look forward to next Friday's payroll being very, very low. It does help us out as a company. And in the long run, it doesn't help us out as far as income coming in because we have no income coming in on those days because we're not producing. So looking at the holidays, and you got Christmas coming around the corner too. I think Christmas lands on a Wednesday this year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but we have to prepare for that. So that means Tuesday and Wednesday, if Tuesday's Christmas Eve, we're going to be taking that time off. So I'm giving guys the opportunity that week to take time off, be with their families. We'll run a skeleton crew. We'll just barely get by, and I'm okay with that because a lot of other people are shutting down for the holidays too. It's not just us. So even though we have to produce, we have to get stuff done, we also need to take time with our family. We've got to have that recharge time. We got to have what they call self-care. You've got to take care of yourself. It's one thing to constantly push, constantly grind, constant work and providing for your family and yourself, but you also have to find the time to take care of you. Now, what do you do to take care of you? You know, for me, I work constantly. Even on Saturdays, either I'm doing training or I'm reading a book. Sundays, me and my wife are going for a walk in the morning. We're going for a walk in the evening. So physically, mentally, trying to take care of myself on the weekends. That's part of my continued working, my continued growth in what I'm doing. So for me to continue to grow, to continue to grind, I have to train 7 days a week in something. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the business, but reading a book helps me. Going for a walk helps me physically stay in shape. That's what we need to look at for ourselves. What am I doing that's going to help me stay at the top of my game? I don't want anybody to pass me. I want to be at the top of my league when it comes to what I'm doing. So what does that take? It takes pushing myself. I'm a leader. I'm not going to be a follower. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone following and just doing a job, but we also need leaders in this business. We need people to lead the others by either experience or lead by example, however you want to look at it. We have to lead. We did a training in an office a couple weeks ago on a Saturday, and it was the first of 4 that I'm going to do in life skills training within the office with our employees. And we're doing the next one December 7th. It's another Saturday, and it's going to be the second one. And I'll be curious to see how many guys show up. We had about 25 last time. We have a lot more employees than just 25. I'm hoping the word gets out that these guys are going to come in. They're going to talk about what happened from the last one to everybody else out there that while they're working, and it sparks some interest in trying to better themselves. This isn't just to better themselves in a business. This is to better themselves in their life. It's going to show me who wants to lead by example, who's willing to step up and say, I need help. I need training. I don't care if it's teaching me how to paint better. I don't care if it's teaching me how to be a better human being. If it's trying to teach me to budget my money better. And that's what we're giving. We're going to be looking at these situations and we're going to be giving them everything they need to be better in life. And you have to realize that the majority of the guys that are showing up for this are guys that have come off the streets. out of prison, out of drug rehabs. They're the ones that need the biggest education that anybody could get. The reason we're doing this is to help them get to that next level. The reason we're doing this is to help them put the past behind them. That's the goal in this situation. So to train them better, to teach them, I'm going to give them everything I possibly can. And as a group, what I've noticed is some of the men and women that have come through my program, the vocational class in the past, that are now in leadership positions in a company, they are now becoming the leaders for me and teaching these guys that are coming in. It started with me and Greg in the office. It started with us running a vocational program. But now the guys that have already been through it, they've been out for a couple of years and they've been working for us. We got guys that came through 3 years ago that are still working for us, and they're in higher up management positions. They are now the ones becoming the leaders. They are now the ones becoming the teachers, and they're teaching what we taught. It's a recipe. If they just follow the recipe of what they're giving them, they will be successful. We're not going to lead them astray. We're not taking advantage of these guys. We're giving them the best opportunity that they could have ever had. For a lot of people coming out of prison, they think, well, where am I going to live? No one's going to hire me. What am I going to do? We fix that. We have the halfway houses for them to live in. We have the job now for them to work. They just have to put the effort forward and do it. You can't be weak in this situation. And you have to learn to follow coming out of those situations until you can become a leader. And you'll know when the time happens. It's going to be an internal thing that you feel within yourself. And I think other people around you might see it before you realize it as you're becoming a leader. And they're, especially in our company, we're going to notice it, and we're going to put you in more leadership positions. We're going to put you as a crew leader. Even when you think you're not ready, we know when you are. We can tell, and we're going to push you to become better. And it's worked many, many times before. But at the same time, some people don't want to be a leader. They just want to come and do a job and collect a paycheck and go home. That is completely fine. We're not going to knock somebody for doing that. But at the same time, we're going to teach you the best that we can to be the best person you can be in life, in work, to your family, to your kids. That's what we're looking for. I want the best of the best. And I want to teach them how to be better. Everything we do in our business and everything we do in the vocational and the life skills training is not about anything other than it's a hand up. It's not a handout. We're giving you a hand to help you up. That's all it is. You've got to put forth the effort. We're just going to show you the way. There is no written way that this has to be for every single person. Every single person learns differently. So we have to change how we teach and how we guide people depending on each person's personality and how they work and who they are and what their background is. So knowing that, we're going to guide them the best way that we can. The unfortunate thing I see sometimes with some men and women that come out of the program and they come to work for us is they become so successful that they crash and burn. And what I mean by this is there's certain men and women that come out, they're doing so well, they're so successful, they're saving up money, they just bought a vehicle, they're doing so good that they crash because the success was too much for them. They felt like they did not deserve it, or it was too good to be true, and they went back to the old behavior, the old habits. Hopefully we can catch some of these people before it happens, or we can help them as we start to see it happen and get back on track. But there's some we just can't. And I've learned through all this over the last few years that I can't help everybody. And I can only help the ones that want the help. And they put forth the effort to show that they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. I'm looking for that beast mode mentality. I'm looking for someone who wants to grind every day and better themselves. When I got a guy working for me for 2.5 years and he's already a project manager, he's got 17 grand saved up in the bank. He's driving a Mercedes. He also has a company truck that we provide for him. And he's only been out of the system 2.5 years. That is success. And I trust this guy with the keys to my shop. I trust him to do scheduling. I trust him to sign contracts. He's proven himself time and time again. He's hungry. He wants more. And he's going to keep pushing and keep pushing. And he's not going to let anything distract him, anything get in his way. And that's what you have to do when you're focused on something. You want something so bad, you won't let anything get in your way. It's like an addict, somebody that's addicted to something. They're going to do everything they can out there to hustle to get that fix that they need. If you just change that to work mentality, oh my God, the difference you can make in your life. You will see changes happening so fast that you won't even realize that it's happening. We have to focus on the good things. We have to focus on bettering ourselves. We cannot follow the norm. We cannot follow the crowd. And here's the thing. You're not going to get rich quick. Everybody thinks they're going to be an influencer. They're going to create the next biggest thing or the next podcast or TikTok video that's going to blow up and make them rich. It's not going to happen. It's rare. If you look at a sports player, how many kids play t-ball? How many kids go on to Little League? How many kids go on to junior high, high school, and then to college and get scholarships? How many kids in sports play t-ball? How many kids make it to Little League? How many kids make it to junior high and then high school and then get a scholarship for college or walk on and make it at college? And then how many of those are actually getting drafted into Major League Baseball? The numbers drop so fast, you can't even imagine. It's slim to none that you're going to make it as a professional. You have to look at it that you're going to do everything you can to get there. And the best of the best are the ones that will sacrifice anything and everything. It's not pure natural talent. They have to work at it. They have to work every single day and grind to get to where they're at. So how weak are you? Or how strong are you? Are you strong enough that you're going to put all the stuff behind you and focus on what your goal is and to get there? I'm going to grind every day to get to where I need to be. You come to work, you show up, you put out. That's what you have to do. We had 2 guys working for us. They came out of the vocational program. They're currently working for us. They're living in a halfway house, and they've been wanting to learn how to spray. When it comes to spraying, we have different techniques, different ways to do it, different machines, and they wanted to learn how to spray metal doors. We had an old metal cabinet. I was going to send it home with them on the weekend with a paint sprayer, and one of the guys was going to go over there, one of our superintendents, and teach them how to do it. But what happened was we had a shipment to our shop of air duct metal equipment that's going up inside of a Freddy's frozen custard that needs to be painted. So I saw an opportunity on the weekend to have them come in and teach them in a real world situation, not practice. 4 people said they wanted to show up on Sunday and learn how to do this. They weren't getting paid for it. We're going to teach them. It was going to be on their own time if they wanted the education and they wanted to be shown how to do it. How many do you think showed up on Sunday? 2. Half of them didn't even show up. So that's a 50% show rate on what we were doing. Now I'm going to look at these 2 guys and I'm going to take an invested interest in these guys. They showed up to my life skills training a couple weeks on a Saturday. They're going to be at the next one. They also showed up for training on how to spray these metal. That shows me that they've got that beast mentality. They want something. They're hungry. They want something more. That's what we want to see in individuals that want to grow within our business. We need individuals that want to work and want to grind. People are too weak nowadays. They want the easy way out. You're not going to get rich quick. You have to practice. You have to grind. You have to get better at whatever you're doing. You're not going to go out and, what are the odds winning the lottery? It's not going to happen. There's nothing wrong with playing it if you have the money to do it. But don't waste your money on thinking that's your only fix to get money to get out of a situation. When all you have to do is educate yourself within what you're doing today to better yourself. These guys working for me and girls working for me are looking to educate themselves and better themselves within the business that they're already in. They're looking at people ahead of them that have come through and moved up in higher positions. That gives them a goal. That gives them something to shoot for. There's a reference to what they want. You have to find that reference point of where you want to be, where you want to get to, and focus on it and shoot for it. Shoot for the stars. Doesn't mean you're going to always land up there, but you're going to land somewhere in outer space. You're going to go farther than just coasting along. Too many people just coast nowadays. You have to quit coasting and focus on what you want and drive for it. You have to push the gas pedal. I'm going to stomp that pedal all the way through the floor. We're going to keep going, and that's what we do. What is the other option? Sit back and relax? The problem is we always want something more in our lives. We want nicer clothes. We want a bigger house. We want a nicer vehicle. But we're not willing to sacrifice and do what it takes to get there. It's time to get that mentality out of your head and get back to work and focus on what you want. And what are you willing to do to get it? What are you willing to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow? That's what you have to think about. Focus on today getting better so tomorrow gets easier. And tomorrow, focus on the next thing. Don't stop just because you got there. Put another goal in front of you. I will never reach all my goals because I don't know what my next goal is. There will be something in front of me. I'm always going to put a goal in front of me that I'm always going to strive for and shoot for. And once I hit that one, then I'm putting another one. And for most of us, if we're in that beast mode mentality, if we're hungry for more, you're going to put multiple goals in front of yourself in multiple directions, either multiple in personal life, multiple in business life, and you're going to push for it. Doesn't mean you're going to hit every goal, but you're going to better yourself for trying to hit every goal. It's weak not to set goals. It's weak to sit back and just coast by. You have to grind. You have to push. There is a better tomorrow, but it starts with today. So how are you going to fix tomorrow? You start by fixing today. You start by doing better today. You have to find it within yourself to shoot for something better. Why settle for less than what your potential is? And some of us don't even know what our true potential is until we push ourselves. I don't know my breaking point until I push myself to a breaking point. And then once I know, now I know where it's at. Now I got to push myself farther. I have to get better. I have to get stronger. Mentally, physically, emotionally, we have to grind. We have to push. We have to grow. What am I doing today to grow for tomorrow? Sitting right here talking about it. Every morning in my office, there's 4 of us. We have a short little team meeting. We talk about what our win was from the day before and what our goals are for today. What's on our plate that we have to get done today. Every single morning, Monday through Friday, we do that. It takes about 15 minutes. There's 4 of us. And we are all in sync and we all are on the same page. We know what each other has. And during that, we can also talk about how we can help each other if there's certain things that need to be done. I'm telling you, it's changed the dynamics of what we're doing in this office. It's made us stronger as a whole. It's made us stronger as a collective. We're all in sync with what needs to happen in that office. It takes some of the struggle out when everybody knows what the next person's doing or has on their plate or what their win was from the day before. Now, today being Monday, we talked about our wins on the weekend. Tomorrow, we'll talk about our wins from today. Hell, my win could be this podcast. Went really great. That was my win for yesterday. Plus, I'll have 2 or 3 others, depending on what happens today. It's a short week. There's a lot happening. So I've got to do 5 days worth of work in 3 days. And it's going to happen. It has to happen. It's not a choice. It's just a matter of fact. Here's what's going to happen this week. And it can't be, Wednesday, halfway through the day, oh man, I didn't get that done. I'll put it off till next week. No, it's going to get done. I will not leave the office Wednesday until I know that I have everything done for the week. It just has to be that way. That's what we have to shoot for. We have to shoot for better. We have to better ourselves every single day, and we have to push. If you're not pushing yourself, who's going to push you? You have to push to be better every single day. That's what it takes. So what are you going to do today to make tomorrow better? You know, I mentioned earlier, you're not going to be an influencer. You're not going to get rich that way, or that you're not going to make the next best TikTok video or something else out there. You have to just do you. You have to constantly improve. You know, I want to influence the people around me. I want to teach them to get better. That's basically what this podcast is. It's to better ourselves and better the people around us. I want the people that work for me to follow me, but I got to lead by example. And I want to be the best version, the best example I can be. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But as long as we strive and try to be better, and if I could create more leaders around me within the people that work for me, that is the goal. We want the people around us to be the next leader in the company. It can't just be me. As we grow the business, I need to create more leadership. I need to create more people that have the same mindset. And if everybody within the business, within our company has the same mindset, the same goals, how does that affect the business? If I had 10 of me all thinking the same, all doing the same thing, all for the betterment of the business, what would that do for our company? Oh, we'd be a force to be reckoned with. We would be unstoppable. But I think a lot of business owners out there think they have to wear every hat. They have to do everything by themselves. It doesn't have to be that way. What it has to be is we have to teach people under us how to be leaders like us. We have to give them the guidance. We have to teach them how to deal with situations. We can't just be in every situation at work. You can't micromanage your company. You have to be willing to let people fail within your company. And for some people out there, they're saying, well, I'm not going to do that because then they make mistakes that cost me money. I'm telling you what, the small price you have to pay for one mistake from a guy making out on the job site or a situation, what he can learn from that will make it back 10 times fold if he learns from it. And that's what you have to realize. You have to let people fail. How do you know you can do something if you don't fail? How do you know what you need to fix if you don't fail? No one's going to get everything right every single time. It's impossible. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. Not you, not me, not anybody out there listening to this. So we have to learn from our mistakes. We have to let the people around us learn from their mistakes. That's part of being a good leader, letting people fail, but helping pick them up, helping them understand how they failed, why did they fail, how do we fix it, how can we make sure this doesn't happen again. That is the lesson that everybody needs to learn all the time, every time, on every job. That's how we get better at what we do. Last week, I had every superintendent, every project manager, and every estimator that works for me was out in the field for 1 week working. I wanted them to go out there and see what's happening. Today and tomorrow, we'll be sitting down with each one of them and doing kind of a questionnaire, kind of a recap on what their perception was out there, what was going wrong and what was going right. We are going to encapsulate what's going right and growing at, but we're also going to encapsulate what we failed on and fix it and correct it and move forward from there. We have to fix our mistakes. When I walk on a job with one of my superintendents or estimators or project managers, I'm not looking for what's done right. I'm looking for everything wrong in that job. Because if I can find it before the owner or the general contractor or superintendent from their company sees it and we can fix it, then we look better. That's the goal in this. We want to perform at the top of our game. And if we can fix our mistakes before somebody sees it, we're the best painter in the world. That's the goal. We want to be the best of the best. Doesn't mean we're not going to make mistakes. I guarantee you we're going to make a mistake. I guarantee today I will make a mistake. Something is going to go wrong. I'm going to screw something up. It's just going to happen. But I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to become better because of this. It's going to fix the situation, and I'm going to grow from it, and it will not happen again. Now, if you're the type of person that you make a mistake and someone corrects you and helps you and guides you, and you make it a second time and they look at you, okay, I'm going to help you again. Maybe I need to show you in a different way, or maybe I need to have somebody else step in and teach you because maybe I'm not a good teacher for you. I might be able to teach some people, but other people just aren't receptive to the way I teach. Let's have somebody else step in. But if you make the same mistake a third and fourth time and you just don't seem to learn, at that point you have to go. You're costing us money. You're losing money for the company. That is not the right way to do this. We can't be productive that way. We can't stay in business that way. It's nothing personal at all. And too many people think, oh, I got fired, screw that company, and they don't know what they lost on. And, well, wait a minute. Let's take a step back and think about why were you fired? Why were you let go? What did you do wrong? It's not always about the company. Sometimes I think we're just so stubborn we won't take a look at ourselves and accept the fact that we made a mistake. We screwed up. It happens. Learn from it and grow from it. Stop blaming everybody else. I'm not going to sit here and blame anybody for my mistakes or my problems. I'm going to accept them. I'm going to embrace them. And I'm going to try to grow from it and become a better person because of this. That's what we're trying to do. If we can grow from our mistakes, if we can learn from our mistakes, become a better person, that's the whole reason behind this. I want to become better every single day. I have to push myself every single day. That's our goal. And I'm going to push the people around me. It's funny. I got a guy working for me, Larry. Awesome dude. Been with us for years. And he's now kind of our trainer out in the field. If you get put with Larry as a trainer, and there's a reason, he's there to either make you or break you. Either you're going to make it with him and come out stronger, or he's going to break you, and we're going to figure out what we need to fix. And some guys can't make it past him. Some guys give up. They quit. They will not progress. And that's okay. It's not meant for everybody. And not everybody's strong enough to do this job. But the ones that are benefit the most. They're guaranteed a paycheck every Friday. There's bonuses that come along with it, company vehicles. There's so much more to this than just a job. But you got to prove that you want it, and you got to prove that you want to get better every single day. The ones that stop showing up, they stop showing up for the extra training. They stop showing up for the extra classes. We start to wonder about those. Where are they going? We call them in the office and have a conversation with, hey, we noticed you've been coming to all these, and now all of a sudden you're stopping. What's going on? Oh, no, I've learned enough. I'm good. I'm going to move on, and I can continue working. It's like, no, we never stop learning. And being in one of these group sessions within our company, even if you've heard everything, I guarantee you there's such a revolving door of new employees, and we're growing so fast, you're going to learn something new from somebody else that comes through the door. There's always something to learn. The way I look at it is, even this podcast, you guys listen to me for 30 minutes plus. Even if you're listening to me right now, I guarantee you, if you take one thing away from this 30-minute plus podcast, you've gained so much. Your time was not wasted. You gained something from it. You have to find something that you got from everything. You can learn from every situation. You can learn what to do, what not to do. I can learn something from the worst painter in the world. I can look at this idiot out there and say, you know what? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's screwing this up. He's making a mess. He's doing this. But I can look at him and understand why he's doing it and learn not to do the exact same things. I can learn from his mistakes. Man, he really screwed up. I'm not going to do that. That's not going to be me. Oh, man, he spilt paint because he had the roller and the paint pole and the bucket hanging a certain way. I'm not going to be the one doing that. That's not going to be me. Not a chance. I'm going to learn from him as well as the guys that are really good out there. I'm going to watch what they're doing to perfect the paint job on that building, on that office space. Why do they not have any callbacks? Everything they do is perfect when they walk out of there. I want to learn from them. I'm going to watch them and see how I can emulate them and be like them. That's what I want to do. I want to change how I'm doing things to better myself. What are you going to do to better yourself and learn? What are you doing to become a better leader? And maybe you're just a follower, but are you following the right leaders out there that's guiding you the right direction? Do you feel stagnant where you're at? Do you need a change? What are you going to do different? You know, we talk about what can we do differently. I think there's a lot of weak-minded people out there that they're complacent. They're stuck in the same spot, and they're comfortable. You have to learn to be comfortable by being uncomfortable. I want situations in my life that make me uncomfortable so I can grow. If everything just smooths and coasts along and there's never a struggle, there's never a problem, I'm not growing. I'm not learning. We need conflict in our lives to grow. That's how we become better people. And I'm not talking bad conflict. I'm talking about in the workplace, how to become better, how to do something stronger. What can I learn today? What drama in my life? What mistakes on the job site? What can I do to become a better person? Every day in my business, I'm at a level I was never at the day before because we're constantly growing. This year is going to be one of our biggest years ever. And I'm going to learn from this. Next year's going to be bigger. We've fallen backwards a little bit. How am I going to grow? How am I going to change? It's by learning from my mistakes. Boy, I've made a lot of mistakes this year. I made some costly financial mistakes within the business. It's not going to happen again. I guarantee you I learned from my mistakes. I'm going to come out stronger. I'm going to come out better. I'm going to be in that beast mode. I'm going to be hungry every day for more. And I'm going to push myself. And I'm going to push the people around me that work for me because I know they want to become better. And if they can't handle being pushed, then they're not leaders. They're just going to be the followers. They're going to be the guys in the field just painting, and that's okay. We need them too. But I'm going to push everybody around me to become better because then I got to step my game up. I got to step my level up. How are you being pushed? Who's pushing you in your day-to-day life to become better? Maybe it's a partner. Maybe it's an employer. Maybe it's somebody above you. Maybe it's your kids pushing you to become better. Find somebody in your life that gives you a reason to become better. And you might say, well, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have anybody in my life. There has to be a reason. You have to find something to push yourself to become better. Find that reason to become better at what you're doing. Find the reason to become a better person, better employee, better father, mother, whatever the case is. Constantly improve yourself to become better. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us on Workforce Skills with John Morris. Have a great week. Stay hungry. Happy Thanksgiving.